and welcome. My name is Ellie and I'm going to be teaching a 30-minute yoga class today. The class is a full body stretch. It's for all levels, no equipment is needed. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos I'll be posting throughout January to try and help us through this lockdown. So I hope you enjoy and be sure to comment or like the video, and yeah, let's get started. So we'll start in a seated position. And we're going to bring your feet in towards you, cross your legs if this is comfortable, and find your sweet spot. So get rid of any fidgets that you have in your body, find your sweet spot, place your hands on your knees, and we'll just start the practice by closing the eyes. And we start to bring awareness to the inside of our body. And we bring awareness to what we call the here and now. So if your mind starts to wander throughout this 30 minutes, just start to think of anything that's happening inside the body. So we bring attention to our breath. As we inhale, let the spine grow taller. Imagine you have a balloon at the top of your head and it's lifting your spine up. And as we exhale, roll your shoulders back down behind you. And again, we inhale, grow tall. Exhale, roll the shoulders back behind. You can open your eyes for the next part if you'd like. And we'll just start by some gentle neck rolls. So we'll bring the right ear to the right shoulder, bring the chin to the chest, and the left ear to the left shoulder. And we go back. And as you bring your ear to your shoulder, you can gaze upwards. And if you'd like more of a stretch here, you can take your hands out beside you, not touching the mat, but we're extending the fingers away, so you're feeling a really lovely stretch. Come across the shoulder, across the neck. But make sure you're keeping your back nice and long. Now we'll start with some side stretches. So we bring the right hand to the mat, your left hand comes over your head, and as you do so, you can walk your right hand out to the side, and if it's possible, you can bring your forearm to the mat, but without lifting the bum cheek. So you've got to keep both bum cheeks on the mat and gaze up. Straighten the fingers. We inhale, exhale, and as we come round to the other side, draw the left hand round in a circle, sweeping it across the floor, and we come to the left. So all the moves that we're doing today, although it's a full body stretch, we'll try and make it into a bit of a flow. So we come to the other side, so draw the right hand across the floor, come to the right, as if your body is fluid, like a wave. And the left side, back round to the side and over the top. And we come back to centre. Place your hands on your knees, and we'll just do some cat-cow, but in a sitting position. So in this position, place your hands on your knees and bring your belly back and your shoulders forward and your chin to your chest as you exhale. Now we inhale, we push our hands against the knees, open up the collarbones and look up. Exhale, round back, as if your back is in a C shape. Inhale, we look up. Exhale, roll. Inhale, look up. One more. Exhale, roll. Inhale, look up. Okay. From here, we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position or tabletop. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, untuck your toes, spread your fingertips, and again, we'll continue with our cat-cow, but in 4-point kneeling. So as we inhale, you tilt your pelvis up, drop your chest and look up. And we inhale. We exhale, we push the floor away, round the back, drop the head. Inhale. We look up. Exhale. We round. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more. And now we freestyle. So do whatever movement in your body feels comfortable. So wiggle your bottom from side to side. You can go forwards and backwards. Just do what feels natural for your body. You can gaze over, look at your bottom over each shoulder. Okay. From here, we're going to give the hands a little bit of a rest, so we'll come into child's pose. So, take your bottom back to your feet, spread your fingers forward, and you can drop your forehead to the mat, and you can take your knees as wide as the mat, and this will allow you to bring your belly down a little bit further. From here, I want you to try and look forward. So we're stretching out the chin, you're stretching out the shoulders. We inhale, and then as we exhale, you're going to bring your right hand underneath your left arm. So we're threading the needle, but in Balasana, in child's pose. So you bring your right arm across, and you look under your left arm. So you get a lovely twist. But as well, you're trying to bring your bottom back to your heels. So we're not lifting the bottom up too much. Inhale, bring your right hand back. Exhale, left hand underneath and look underneath your right arm. Inhale, come back up. We come up into our 4-point kneeling position. And we'll just start by working on our hip mobility, but trying to get a little bit of heat into the body. So, keeping the body where it is, zip up through the belly button, lift the right foot to the ceiling, keeping the knee bent. So we're working on glutes. From here, bring your right knee over to your right elbow, and then bring your knee back to center. And we do the same again. Heel to the ceiling, round to the elbow, and back round. So it's like your knee is doing a full circle, and you're going as wide as your hip can physically go. So this is a great strengthening exercise for your glutes, but it's also a great mobility exercise, trying to work into all areas of the hip. And you can go the opposite side. And if you're feeling that your body is starting to shake, we just take a deep exhale. Feel that bum start to burn. It's doing good. And relax. Bring your knee back down to the mat. Wiggle your bottom side to side. And then we do the same again on the other leg. So find your center, find your midpoint, zip the belly button in, and then we go. Left foot to the ceiling, left knee to the elbow, and then back in. Foot to ceiling, elbow, back in. Nice big circles. And as you're gazing down at your fingers, notice that your fingertips should be spread. You're pushing it into the mat with the very ends of your fingertips. So you can inhale as you lift your foot. Exhale, we come around. Inhale, exhale. We'll do a couple more. And back down. Lovely. Give your bottom a wiggle. From here, we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So tuck under the toes, push through the hands and lift the bottom up into the air. Now, the best way to find your downward dog position is to come forward into a plank position, and your hands and your feet should stay still. So if you're going to wave your body back to downward dog from plank, that is the length that your downward dog should be. And we'll start by walking the dog. So we'll lift your right heel as you bring your left to the mat, and then we go opposite. So you're really working into the backs of each leg, so your calf, your hamstring. You can lift both heels off the mat, and as you exhale, bring both heels back down. Again, keep your fingers active also, so they're pushing into the mat. You're drawing your shoulder blades away. You're creating space between your shoulders and your ears. And we just hold the dog. From here, we're going to come into a low lunge. So I'd like you to lift your left leg into ceiling, into a three-legged dog, and then bring your left foot between your hands. If your foot doesn't get there, by all means use your hand to bring your foot forward. We'll drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and we come into this low lunge, so you can interlace your fingers, pop them on your knee, and just slowly work into this stretch. So we're going to be doing quite a lot of hip stretching. Okay. Place your hands on the mat and walk your left foot out to the side a little bit more. You can place your right hand on the mat, push your left away. So we're pushing the left hand against the left knee. We're bringing the left foot edge to the floor, and you can gaze up. Bring that left foot back in. We come back up from our low lunge, so our body is off our thigh. And if it's possible for you, you can bend your right knee and take hold of your right foot to give yourself a really good quad stretch on that right side. So you can either keep your left hand on your thigh, or you can take hold of your foot with your left and your right. And if you were to lean back as well as bring your foot in, you get more of a stretch. Okay, we drop the back foot. We bring both hands to the mat, tuck under the back toes and lift the knee. Okay, keep the right hand where it is, but lift the left to the sky and create a twist. So we're in a twisted high lunge. So keep your back leg active. Your front leg is pushing against the floor. Take a couple of breaths. Bring your left hand back down to the mat. And from this position, we're going to raise up into our high lunge. So lift your hands off the floor, push through the front leg, and lift your hands up to the ceiling. So we're in our high lunge. Adjust your positioning if you need. We tuck under the pelvis, so it shouldn't be sticking out. Lower until the point that your front leg is in a 90-degree position, and we hold. In this position, keep in with the bend of the knee, bring your right hand forward, your left hand behind, and we're going to do a reversed lunge. So you're bringing your left hand to the back knee and your right hand over the top. And again, feel that lovely stretch come down the right side right hip flexor. From here, come back to high lunge. Straighten your front leg because you deserve it. And shorten your stance ever so slightly. We're staying with both our feet pointing forward. Interlace your hands behind you and push your hands back and down. So we're opening out the front part of the chest. Okay, we're going to come into our pyramid pose. So we inhale, we lift. We exhale and fold forward over the front leg. Bringing your hands over the top. Again, this is a stretch, but it's also a bit of a balance practice. And trying to bring your nose towards your knee as much as you can. If the stretch is too much, just release it slightly. I don't want you to work into a stretch too hard so that it's causing you pain. It should be comfortable. Okay, we inhale and lift, back up. Now we turn our feet so they are both facing forward. We stay with our hands behind our back and interlaced. And now we do a wide-legged forward fold, hands behind our back. So we open out the chest and we fold forward from the hips, keeping the legs straight. And our belly comes down and our hands come over our head. And we try and gaze underneath us. And again, pull your hands away from you so you're opening out even the front part of your body. We inhale, take your hands to the floor, place your right hand underneath your face and your left hand up and out to the ceiling. So you're creating a twist. We look up. Exhale, left hand to the floor, right hand comes up and over. We come back. We fold and try to see if you can walk your hands underneath your feet as far as you can go. If you feel like you need to go a little bit further, take your feet out a little bit wider. But if your head is on the floor, just narrow the stance that you're in. And we're extending the fingers, we're pushing through the hands as well. Walk the hands back to center. We extend the spine, hands on the hips, and we lift. Inhale, up to a stand. Okay, now we're going to do everything that we did, but on the other side. So we're going to turn towards the back of the mat. And we're going to come first into our low lunge. So we take our knee to the floor, we untuck the toes, and you can interlace the fingers and pop them onto your right knee. And we're just working to the lunge. So you'll feel a stretch come into the groin of the right leg and even the hip flexor on the left. If your knee is uncomfortable in this position, use that back foot to push into the floor so you're offloading the knee. Okay, from here you can walk your right foot out to the side, left hand on the mat, right hand on the right knee, and open out the hip, coming onto the edge of the right foot so you can open out the hip a little bit further. Again, shoulders are open. Inhale, look up. Okay, we walk that foot back in. We lift our body back up off our thigh. And we bring ourselves into a quad stretch. So if you did before, you bend the left knee and take hold of the left foot. Again, trunk is nice and tall. We're aiming our hips forward and back. So we're trying to lean back slightly, just to open out the front of our hip. And you can take hold with both hands. And sink into it a little bit more. Okay, take that foot back down to the mat. Keep the toes tucked under. And we're going to lift the back knee up. Keep the left hand on the inside of the right foot. And we bring the right hand up to the ceiling. So we're still very grounded through the feet. Our fingertips are extended. We look back down at the mat, place our hands back down, and when we're ready, we're going to come up into our high lunge. So we take both hands off the mat, push through the legs, lift the arms, and make sure we're in a good high lunge position. So your front leg is near 90 degrees, your knee isn't over your ankle, it's above your ankle, and the back leg is as straight as possible. Don't worry if you have a slight bend. We're just aiming to get it straight. From here, we're going to shorten our stance and we come into our pyramid pose. So you can take your feet in slightly, hands behind the back. We open out the collarbones, straighten our back, straighten our legs, and exhale, hinge forward into our pyramid. Again, a great hamstring stretch. Also a great balance pose. We inhale, we rise back up. And we bring both our feet back in again. This time we're not going to do a wide-legged forward fold. We're going to do goddess, or for guys, sumo. So we take our feet out diagonal and we start by bringing our hands to our heart center and we slowly aim to get our knees out over our feet. So our knees and our feet are pointing outwards. We imagine we have a wall behind us so our bottom isn't sticking out. Our bottom and our back fully against the wall. So you can bring your hands to heart center. You can bring them in a cactus position. And here we're just going to start by just doing some gentle pulses. Getting the body warm, you can move side to side. I always think that if you move more, you don't realise actually how hard your body is working. Take your hands to your knees. Bring your right shoulder in as you look over your left. So we're getting a lovely spinal stretch in this position. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left shoulder comes in as you look over your right. We come up, one more on each side. And again. Left side. And we come all the way up, straighten the legs, and you can jump the feet in. Okay, so we've got about 5 more minutes, so we're going to do a quick core exercise and then some spinal twists, and then we're good to go. So in this position, come to the front of your mat and bring your feet out as wide as the mat. And imagine you have a rope in front of you. You're going to use this rope to lower yourself to the floor as slow as you can go. So again, you're working your squat, so you're working your glutes, and you're going to come as low as you can go without lifting your heels off the floor and come all the way to the mat. Okay, from here, we're going to do a quick boat pose. So your feet are coming up, your knees are bent. You can either keep your hands on the mat here, if that's comfortable for you, or challenge yourself by taking your hands up And if you want more of a challenge, you straighten the legs. And we hold. Feel your body shake, mine is shaking. That's all good. And slowly lower yourself so your feet should be hovering off the ground. Your lower back should be on the ground, your shoulders are off. And we inhale, we come back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Couple more. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. All the way down to the mat. Whew, I feel that in my belly. Okay. So now we'll do quick spinal stretches and some hip stretches. And then a good Shavasana. Okay, so straighten your left leg. Bring your right foot on your left thigh. And bring your right knee all the way over to the left. And you can open out the hands to the side, keeping your shoulders on the mat. And you can gaze over to the right. Imagining your spine and your torso is like a wet washcloth. And you're wringing it out. These twists are super good for digestion, helping removing toxins in the body. And because we're at the end of the practice, you can close the eyes. Come back to centre, straighten your right leg, your left foot on your right thigh, and bring your knee over to the side. And look over to the left. So it doesn't matter if your knee isn't touching the floor, that is not the aim. The aim is to find a point in the spine that you need more of a stretch. We come back to centre. We keep the left foot on the floor, your knee bent, and take hold of your right foot. Put it on your left thigh, so we're in a figure 4 position. And use your right hand to gently push away your right knee, opening out your hip. So if you live in a more flexible body, you can lift your left foot off the floor, take hold of your left thigh, and pull your leg in a little bit more. Bearing in mind we should be keeping our shoulders on the floor, so if you feel like you're tightening a ball, try and relax it. Okay, we bring our feet back down to the mat and we swap over. Your left foot on your right thigh. We gently push our left knee out, so we're not pushing too hard, and we're definitely not using the knee, we're using the thigh to open out the knee and the hip. We lift right foot off the mat, interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, and we pull in again. Drop your foot back down to the mat. And we'll take your feet as wide as the mat. Open out your hands. And we'll start our Shavasana. So go ahead and grab a pillow or a blanket if you need. By all means, stay in Shavasana as long as you like. You don't have to stay in just for the time in this video. Shavasana is completely personal, but it is super important to complete at the end of every yoga practice, not just for the body, but for the mind. So bring your attention to the point in between your eyebrows and relax this point. we move to the tongue and the jaw. Relax the tongue so it's on the bottom of the mouth. And relax the jaw so the mouth comes slightly open. We move down to the shoulders and drop the shoulders into the floor. Feel them heavy. Feel your fingers and your knuckles on the floor. And feel the floor pushing back up. The floor is supporting us. Trust the surface that we're lying on. Feel our bum cheeks squished against the floor, as well as our calves and our heels. So at this moment in time, we need to be nowhere else. This moment is for you. And we'll start to bring awareness into our fingers and our toes. You can give them a wiggle. You can take your hands over your head and stretch them out as long as you can. Imagine someone is pulling on your fingers and pulling on your toes. And as we relax, roll over to your right side. And we don't come up straight away. It might make us feel a little bit dizzy. And when you feel ready, we push up with the left hand and we come all the way back into a seated position like we did at the start of our practice. Okay, so we place our hands to our heart centre. We take a deep inhale and exhale. And thank yourself for turning up on the mat today. And I thank you also for joining me, and I hope that you keep up with my videos. I am also teaching online Zoom on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so check out my Instagram. I'd love to see you there. But yeah, stay tuned. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.